What's up, YouTube? We are out here in the sticks underneath the framework of the rustic gazebo. I want to talk to you guys about the coming food crisis. Now, Canadian Prepper did video on this. He's not the only one. I don't subscribe to the Canadian Prepper. He is subscribed to this channel. Sir, email me, ntxmag@gmail. November Tango X-Ray Mike Alpha Golf. I started this channel because of you, but not necessarily in a good way. But I'd love to talk to you on the phone. I really would. I would love to talk to you on the phone. No ill will. I just want to talk with you. Here's the deal. Lots of people have been saying for a long time, you need to stock food. Should you have all the weapons? Yeah. Do all the things? Yeah. The medical? The bug out vehicles? Yeah. Your bug out bags, bug out plan, your tactical team? You know the problem with food storage? It's just not sexy. But it's a lot sexier than slowly starving to death or being put in a desperate situation where you're forced to make less than ethical decisions because you're under dire circumstances. Now, Canadian Prepper likes to pride himself on these philosophical thought pieces. What would you do if? Let's go a different direction. How about if you know it's an issue, you go out of your way to make sure that you don't find yourself in the what would you do if situation. Food right now is relatively cheap. Even with a horrendous purchasing power of the US dollar, even with global crop failure, you can still buy food relatively cheap right now. You can walk into any Walmart in the country and get a 20-pound sack of rice for about $8. You can get a 25-pound sack of flour for $7.74. It's under $7, I think, for 25 pounds of sugar. 8-pound sack of pinto beans is about $4. Corn, you get 50-pound sacks of corn from the feed store for $7. Now, what are you going to do with all that? Put it in buckets. There's lots of videos from me and everybody else about how to put food in buckets, so you should investigate that. Can you get Mountain House? Yeah, it's expensive. What about like the Wise instant meals, just add water? Be careful with those. They're good to have, but a lot of their daily allotment, this is a day's worth of calories. It's only 800 to 1,000 calories. I advocate that you have 2.5 pounds of food per person per day. And I can see everybody out there going, yeah, but then your neighbors, when they're all wasting away to skeleton zombies and they see that you're not, that means that your population density equation is no good. Well, you don't understand, man. I just can't move. I do understand. I've lived everywhere from cities with multi-millions of people to towns with 126 people in them. I've been all over this United States of America and elsewhere. Thank you very much. The only reason you can't is because you've decided you can't. Period. The end. Okay. Moving on. Yeah. Get your population density equation right, and then you don't have to worry about somebody looking over your 6-foot board-on-board privacy fence in between you and all the other homes in the suburbs and determining, oh, hey, look, they're not starving to death. They probably have food. Yep. Life is full of decisions, man. It matters. What you do now affects the future. So put up food. We just recently, 8 days ago, got back from a mission from Florida. It'll be longer than 8 days when you all see this. But this mission to Florida, it reiterated over and over again. You're only as independent from the system as you make yourself. If you can't feed yourself, you're just another cog in the machine. You're just another number on a spreadsheet somewhere. Let alone protect yourself. And most people go to the direction of protection first because it's the immediacy, right? It's the immediacy of being able to put deadly force on target. Okay? But when you solve that immediate problem, then what do? You go to midterm and long-term problems. Food is a long-term problem. And so, I'm looking at my sheep over here. Boy sheep has decided that girl sheep needs to assist him in the making of more food for me down the road. Delayed gratification. Although for him, he'll probably be gratified here in the near moments. But for me, I'm about a year later, I'll get some food out of this deal. Sheep porn. I guess that's a big hit, over there in the sandbox. Probably make millions of dollars right now. Another story for another time. Here's the deal. You need food. Your ability to maintain a safe distance from the system depends on how many of your own inputs you can produce and how many of your own outputs you can utilize. Store food to the rafters. We had a team of 32 people plus 6 on-site liaisons, 38 people using 100 pounds of food per day. 100 pounds of food per day. How much food do you have stocked up? And I'm not talking about this is the food that we were cooking to bring to the people and the communities that we were serving. I'm talking about for us. Our operational requirements, 100 pounds of food per day. I'm unashamed to tell you that I have put up 22 additional buckets of food since I got back from Florida, and I will continue to. And I had a robust food supply to begin with. But I am doubling and tripling my efforts to stock food to the rafters because I don't want to have to partake in a Canadian prepper thought piece about what the roving hordes of zombies are going to do when they start starving to death. Because I'm not near any potential zombies. My population density equation is adequate, more than adequate, unlike the vast majority of the world. I've taken steps now to remove myself from potential dangerous situations. However, I still have a team of extremely capable people that are very near me, and then I have greater and larger teams in concentric circles from there. But I also have all the food. Lots of it. Lots of it. So I'm not worried about the zombies showing up, and I'm not worried about what we're going to eat. And in fact, because I'm good, that allows me to get everybody else around me good as well. To operate from positions of strength, which is an ongoing theme here, is positions of strength. You have to be selfish to get you good so you can be selfless and get everybody else good. It's this push-pull dichotomy. Check. So how much food should you have? I like 750 pounds per person per year. Some people say 600, some people say 400. Oh yeah, the NRA hat, the hat that the internet loves to hate. Listen, and this is not a political statement, it's a fashion statement. A good brother of mine gave me this hat, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, i.e. keep the sun out of my eyes. So, whatever. Gun owners of America can send me a hat, and I'll wear their hat. I don't care. I don't care. I truly don't care any direction. I don't care. Then, FYI, the political process is not even worth our time or attention anymore. It's all going away. Act accordingly. It's all going away. Act accordingly. Including the system, the just-in-time logistics system that allows food to show up at your grocery store, which is why you should have 750 pounds of food per person per year. I like, and this is dry goods, I like a quarter of that to be rice, a quarter of it to be beans, a quarter of it to be wheat or flours, and a quarter of that to be corn. Google nixtamalization. Nixtamalization. You need to know how to do that with corn for nutritional reasons. And you need a grinder, right, for the wheat and the corn, so forth and so on. But let's say you had 4 people in your family. That'd be 750 pounds of corn, 750 pounds of rice, 750 pounds of beans, 750 pounds of wheat or flour. So forth and so on. Sounds like a lot of food. Guess what? It's a lot of food. Guess what? People eat a lot of food. So you need a lot of food to feed people. The other thing that I love telling people, and I think it's a great system, and I found this was some LDS prepper video that I saw years ago. and I have no affiliation with the LDS Church or any other church for that matter, is develop a meal plan of 7 meals that you want to eat for dinner. And an example of this that I give people is, for us, would be spaghetti and meat sauce. So to feed our family, 6 people, is 2 pounds of spaghetti, 1 big jar of meat sauce. Okay, that's 52 jars of sauce, 104 pounds of spaghetti. When spaghetti goes on sale, go to the store, buy 104 boxes of it. If it's normally $1 a box and it's down to 40 cents a box, now's when you buy spaghetti. Done. Okay, sauce is on sale. Good, buy 52 of them. Done. Now that sauce won't last forever, so you need to rotate it, which means that these meals that you're stocking need to be meals that you're eating anyway, right? So that you're putting the new in the back, pulling the old from the front of the shelf. You need to actually use this stuff, rotate it in and out, or every couple of years or so, you're going to be buying more and more and more and more food. So you get a meal plan down of things that you eat on the regular, and you stock that. So you have some continuity of comfort from your kitchen going forward. Is that, hey, it's Monday night is spaghetti, man. That's what we do. Even when the world's burning, we're doing spaghetti night. And it's easy, right? Boil pasta, add sauce, done. Feed the people. Use some of that flour that you have with a little bit of yeast, 6 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of oil, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, 3 cups of warm water, 1 package of yeast. Knead, rest, portion, bake, 375 for about 35 minutes. You have bread now. I know that here because I know it here, which is why I can speak it here, because I've done it enough times that I don't have to think about it anymore. Basic bread, there it is, right? So make some bread to go with your spaghetti, and now you got a full belly. And like chili is another one that we do, because it's easy, man. It's easy. You're dumping cans into a pot, reheat. So things of that nature. And then you do that on top of your year's worth of dry goods, and you have a substantial amount of food. And I think that it's something that people need to do. You don't need 4 or 5 ARs for every person in your family, okay? You should have 1, maybe even a sidearm. After that, get your food squared away, man. Get your food squared away. If you've got 14 pistols and 28 days worth of food, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, man, says me. So my point to all of this is, it's not necessarily easy, but it is simple, okay? You should have the food, and I just outright reject the idea that I'm going to participate in the roving hordes of zombie masses starving to death, trying to take advantage of all the limited resources, so forth and so on. I'm not doing it. I tell people all the time, and I'm going to start saying it more and more here, you need to make your actions match your convictions, okay? Is this a hobby, or is this a way of life? Do you have a conviction, or is this just something you're playing with? If it's just something you're playing with, okay, cool. You'll probably glean some useful information from this channel as well as several others. But this is maybe not the place you want to live. If this is a conviction, if this is your lifestyle, and you feel it deep in your gut that you need to get ready, that you need to be doing the things now, you'll probably fit in around here. Because we make our actions match our ambitions here, and we do the hard things. I moved my entire family away from our church and our family and our friends and everybody else 4 hours outside of a major city so that I could sit here and have this conversation with you, so that I don't have to worry about the roving hordes of zombie masses who are starving and are going to come here and rape my dog and eat my children. It'd be a really bad policy to step inside of my gate uninvited anyway. So I just outright reject all of that. Not happening here. And then as far as feeding ourselves and operating from positions of strength, yeah, we have food. We're going to continue to have food. And we're going to grow our own food, which we are, and raise up our own flocks and herds, which we are. And we're going to get to know our neighbors, which we have been, and develop real context with people, which we are, and strengthen our team and our mag and our tribes around here, and get to know people and make things happen and do the hard things together, which we are. So that I don't have to be concerned about a thought piece on the internet about what am I going to do when somebody comes to take all my food. Mozambique drill, homeboy. That's what I'm going to do. And I don't think I'm going to have that problem. Population density here is about 10 people per square mile. And I know all 10 of them. Non-issue. So, should you have food storage? Yeah. How much? 750 pounds per person. That's about 25 buckets per person. Cause you're going to need the calories. If you're worried about the fact that everybody else is starving to death and you're not, don't be where everybody else is. And if your answer is you don't understand, I got to fill in the blank, I do understand. I get it. I absolutely get it. I can't. Never got anything done. You're right. You can't. You're absolutely right. You can't. The moment you figure out here and here that you can, you will. I can't fix that for you. Store your food to the rafters. Store food to the rafters and decentralize. Have food everywhere. That if your house catches fire, your food doesn't burn up with it. Have it in this house and this barn and that shed and that shed and the storage unit in town and at your buddy's house across town and then over here 3 towns away. Everywhere. Food is power. Food is power. And there ain't one of us that will enjoy any modicum of liberty without the ability to be independent from the system. The system that we all know is degrading and failing. Do the hard things now while you still can, before you're just a number on somebody's spreadsheet. Shalom.